drop this job off and see what else there is. Too far. See what else there is to take. So, drop. We had 51 minutes. We did it in 18 because we played the system and we almost got 47K out of that. Good job. That'll put a heck of a dent into the money we just spent of the $500,000. Now, granted that about 25% of what we just made will probably be what it costs to do the maintenance on those 3 locomotives we've got there. All right, let's see what else we have here. It looks tasty. All right, that's hazmat. Get that out of the way. That looks like tanker cars. That's hazmat. Get that out of the way. That's hazmat. Get that out of the way. What's this? Load and prepare. All right, that's something to consider. This is load and prepare. That's 9K. That's hazmat. We can double up on shunting jobs if it makes sense to. Like this doesn't make sense to because this is going back to G30 and this is getting put back in D60. So 2 different yards. If these were both going into a G yard, yeah, you know, possibility we could make that work. What's this one doing? This one is a drop off. Oh, okay. We saw where those cars were. Ooh, that's 20K. All right, that's a nice easy one. 88 tons. All right, we'll put this in our pocket. But while we were talking, this is a load and prepare for E10 outgoing. So this is a good one that might pair up well with this one here. All right, well under the weight we need. And they go to the same yard, even though they go on opposite sides of the yard. So it's another little puzzle. Let's see, where's this one go? And let's go to E70. Now, if we had concurrent order 2, we could do all 3 of these, but we do not. But here's another one we could tag along or do 2 at a time. We'll have to try that one time. And then this is going to D60. So, this is a load and prepare for D60. Now, here's something interesting. All right, so this goes to D60. This goes to D60. And the 2 of the, all right. I talked about it, so we're going to do it. So let me get rid of this one for the time being. This is an unload, but let me get rid of this one for the time being. We're definitely going to do that, but we're going to have a little fun and take care of these 2. So this is a load and prepare that, and this is a load and prepare that. And both go to the same spot. All right, perfect. And we lost our locomotives because I forgot where I put them. All right, so where do we need to go to get our cars, flat cars for this? C1S and G7S. And this one is D1S, D2S, and G1S. So which set to build first? I'm going to say that we'll build this one first, because this requires us to drive all the way across the yard and then back here again. But it's all off the clock. This is all just messing around. So let's build this one first. And then, yeah. And we're going to continue to use the DH4 because, again, we want to just give ourselves a chance to get familiar as we can with this locomotive. And we know we can drive this rear facing through the other locomotive, so it's not a big deal. So D1S, D2S, and G1S. Okay, so before we pull out, we're going to get this G1S car. We've probably already gone too far. Yeah, we have. All right, well, let's see where this G1S car is, how deep. Is there only one car back here? Please. Oh, there's two. All right, so this order is 96. Oh, look at that. We are living right. What was the number on this one? 84. Okay, good. So we have to grab this car and then go over to D1S, D2S, and get the rest of it. So lucky us. Oh, it started to rain. Well, of course it did. Who dinged? Also, G7S car on the other card. Yes. But I want to make sure that I put the trains together correctly, so the right cars with the right cars, and since we're not on the clock, we can take our time and do it right and not run into a situation where we could make a mistake and make more work for ourselves. There's also something to be said to split up the locomotives and use different locomotives to go get different cars and load them all into the D7 yard. No. I mean, there's a lot of ways to solve these puzzles. There's, your mileage may vary. There's no right way or wrong way. Really? Thunder and lightning, very, very frightening me. Wipers. It's already 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the game. Yes, Galileo Figaro. No, not yet. And I haven't seen it in the list of things Alt Future is actually working on. Don't ask me what that is, because I just sort of read it and put it in the far back recesses of my mind. Wow, it's raining hard. braking is going to be a lot of fun on the wet track. Perfect. Gonna get wet. Not really. Slow down a bit more, please. Luckily, these don't weigh a whole lot. Otherwise, you might get some wheel slip here. Switch the other way. I got ahead of myself. Let's see. D1S, D2S. So we'll get D1S first, and then we'll pull out enough to get to the D2S switch, and then we'll pull out from there and drop these off in D7L. And then we will stop at G7 and pick up that car and then go get the cars from C1. That is the plan. See, I talked about doing concurrent shunting jobs. It just so happened that there was a very good one available to work on. We are going way too fast. Needs to go that way. That's going the right way. So that's the 2S line. This will be the 1S line. That's 3S. This is 2S. We're going straight through. So let's see. Let me just 1 second slow down. Before I get too far, let's see, we're looking for 96 if I recall right. So we have a car in the way. We have a car in the way here. All right, these two cars are in the way, so this must be 96 here. Yeah. And these two must be 96. So all right, let's look at this. Yeah, okay. So what I'm gonna do is, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna grab these two, back in, grab these two, back into here, and put these two against that, pull these out and put them on this outside track, and then back in and grab these two. Ugh, that sounds ugly. Is there a better way to do that? I come in and get this and these two. I don't have any place to put this. Yeah, okay, so that's what I need to do. All right, so this is going to be a little more complicated, simply because of where the cars are kind of buried. So we need to get rid of these first two. We need to get rid of that one. So if we put them all together and get them out of the way, then the two cars at the end go with the car at the end back here. We can put all three cars we don't need back in this outside track. Then we just back in and grab the cars we need and take them over here. So that's what we're going to do. I am glad I stopped. So we're doing all this shunting with the DH4, the lead one, and the remote control here. So we're just grabbing these two. We're going to leave that other car where it's at. We're not going to hook it up with that last one. We're going to leave that one where it's at. Good. Now we're going to go into D1S, grab this and the other two cars. Yep, it's a puzzle. That's kind of why I like this game. Not only do you get to drive trains, but it's prototypical, and every job comes with new challenges, and you can make it as hard or as easy as you want to make it. A little bit more. There we go. Reverse, forward. Let's go get those other cars. All right, so we can grab all the cars on this track. So we're going to have to push this tank car into... All right. That should be what we need. I'm hoping these two cars were together as a set. I love it. We'll hop onto here. Could we have worked this from the other side? Yes. Would that have been easier? Not with the 3 locomotives we have set up the way they are. If it was just the DE2, yeah, no problem. And that's a no-brainer. But since we have the 2 DH4s in the mix there, our locomotive power is too wide for the turnaround at the end of the tracks on the other end. So we'd have run out of room. So we have to do it like this. Not a biggie. Takes a few more movements, but we do what we have to. That'll put these 3 cars together, or these 4 cars together. That's right. I'm leaving 3 cars here, and I'm leaving 2 cars, 3 cars in this number 1 track, and I'll still have the car I pulled out of G1 to hook up to the front end of these 3. Yes, don't forget that. These are together. Set the brake on this. While we're off the cars, we'll take a look. So the return tracks come back, and this track is full, so we can't use that. And this track is, well, those cars aren't quite in the way, so you have to go all the way back, all the way back, all the way back to the 6th track. Okay, there may have been room. No, there's actually cars on the 6th track. So we can't drive through here, so we'd have to come all the way back to here, and I don't know. It's between here and that switch. Oops. It may have fit, but you know, it's a lot of travel to get down there and find out it didn't work, or you don't have enough room. So we stayed safe. All right, so we're going to pull out of here. So we want to brake right there. We want to keep that car and get rid of the 3. Excuse me. Where did I read? I read on a review somewhere that Alt Future went all out for the thunderstorm weather event. All right, that's there. Hit the brake. Yeah, exactly. All right, everything's moved. Just need to put this car against those and then drive it into the D7 yard or track. Dunk, dunk. And back her in. So how many movements was that? That was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alrighty. First set of cars put together. Doing on fuel? Yeah, not bad. Using up more oil than we are fuel right now. That is plenty fast enough. Alright, so we just need to get our back of our train past that switch there. We're an hour in, doing pretty well, I think. This pair of shunting jobs, though, is going to take a while. Dunk, dunk. No, I should slow down more. Now let's make sure this switch is correct, and it is. This next switch put us down on the D7L track. There's a bunch of cars on the D6 track. Yes, you just saw that. I put myself in the middle of the track. And we'll set this up close so we can connect to it and then push the rest of the cars back. And let's see, 1, 2, 3 joints back from the lead. Ta-da. All right, so let's get the next, that's this consist here, at least the cars for this one. So now we got to find these. So we'll stop at G7S, get that one. Then we don't have to go into the G yard when we come back. Then we'll drive out to C1S and pick up what we need from there. And then we can just back right down into this track when we're done. So G7S, next stop.